Hey there, everybody. If you're thinking about moving to the Lake Nona area and you're not exactly sure where to move to, well, stick around because on this video, we're going to be talking about some of the areas in Lake Nona that you may want to consider, and we're getting to it right now. My name is June Kranick, and on this channel, we do videos every single week of what it's actually like to live, work, eat, sleep, and play in Orlando and Central Florida. So if that's the information that you want to need, well then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and click the bell below so that you're notified every time we do a new video. We have people reaching out to us every single week, and my team and myself, we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about moving to Orlando or Central Florida in general, well then shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, however you wish to connect, because we got you covered when it comes to moving to Orlando and Central Florida. So I feel very fortunate that, well, first of all, that I have the opportunity to talk to clients via YouTube. And also that I've really got an opportunity to dissect a lot of the city that I love and that I live in, Orlando, Florida. And one of my dearest favorite parts of Orlando, Florida, as everyone knows, you're probably saying, I know, Lake Nona, you got it. And I just drive now. I drive and I look around because there is a lot more to it than just Lorette Park. Lorette Park has got like a ya-cha-cha-cha. You know, it's got a sizzle and it's exciting. But there are some really cool pockets of residences that I have found that I really love in the Lake Nona area. So I was driving along yesterday and I saw out of the corner of my eye these gates, and this car was just pulling in. So of course I dodged right behind the car and I drove into a place called Moss Lake Reserve. And I fell in love with this neighborhood. In fact, like it's kind of on, I'm gonna put it on my vision board. It is so, now if you want excitement, this is not the place for you. It was so quiet. And I film all of like, just it's open and the houses are far apart, which everyone knows it's a pet peeve of mine as well. And the homes ranged from about 690,000 to over 2.5 million. Now these homes, as I drive around, you can see, you know why they're $2.5 million. Some of them have really long driveways. I have just a picture, a still picture, and it shows you the length of the house and then the length of the yard. And then it's right out and sits on Lake HART. They call it the chain of lakes, but this is Lake HART. And so I jumped out of my car, I pulled up, and I jumped out of the car and I walked through this little wooded area that has like park benches and little sitting places. And then there's a sign and it says residents only. And in this neighborhood, they'll definitely call the cops on you. So I kind of went quickly and walked out onto this long dock. And if you're a resident there, obviously you can use the dock and nobody else can. This place was so serene, but I thought about the person that bought the house for $690,000, which is the very first house that I film when I first go in there. And I thought, what a great deal that this person got. This house is like 3,400 square feet and it sits on a nice piece of land, but it's in such a beautiful like subdivision. They always say, buy the least expensive house in the most expensive area. So whoever bought that house, my hat is off to you. Now let me tell you this. Guess how much the HOA is? I know you don't know, $120 a month. Are you kidding me? It's cheaper than some of these new subdivisions that have, you know, house, and they all look alike. All of them look alike, and so they have a big pool. Well, what if you don't like to swim or you would rather have a pool at your home? So you're paying for all these resort amenities and then you don't really want them. I couldn't believe that the HOA was so low. For this quality of a neighborhood, not to mention there's no CDD, CDD. Did I say CDD? There's no CDD. I said it right. There's so many houses now. And it's crazy, 10 years ago, no CDD. I mean, it's really been in the last 5 years. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I don't think so. So anyway, I loved this place. And this is not one of those like a Lennar or, you know, KB Homes or any of that stuff. This is custom homes. So one of the homes that was built by a custom builder named Synergy, which I have to do some research on. But these were really beautiful and right directly across the street. Now, when you drive out, the gates are just lovely and the vines on it. I just fell in love there. I honestly did. And again, like I said, it was quiet, very, very quiet neighborhood. And so I drove out, and directly across the street is a field called Bomberas Field. So I jumped over there and walked around, and I think some of these people were nannies sitting there, and the kids were playing on the playground, and there was soccer fields, and I'm sure a baseball field. It's 20 acres, and it's got just a beautiful playground and just a lot to do. So, and I wanted to mention that in this area in general, there's a lot of parks, and I will talk about the parks at the end of the video, so you gotta stick around because these parks are rather impressive. So once I drove out of there, I went to the left and went back up Moss Park Road, and I found brand new townhomes on the left-hand side. They're Moss Park Commons. And it wasn't a really large place. I thought it was beautiful. Some people like townhomes, and I gotta be honest with you, the prices on these townhomes were pretty impressive. They were around $300,000, but they looked very individual. They weren't lumped all together. They had different color schemes. Just overall had a really nice vibe to it. And again, I've got to point out to you, Moss Park was one of the first areas that they really started building outside of Lorette Park. And for these prices to be reasonable, like to talk about a house that was $690,000, that's a lot of money. I do understand, of course, if you're coming from California, that's not a lot of money. But in Florida, it is. But to be in an upscale neighborhood like that, $690,000 is pretty good. And it really is quiet in that area. Not everybody loves the latest, greatest technology and, you know, frenzy. And, you know, I went to eat again at, Chroma the other night, and it was really busy. So if you love that busy social life, maybe closer to Lorette Park would be your jam. But if you like it a little more quiet, maybe you're a little bit older or whatever, you may like it. Now, interestingly enough, all three of the areas that I visited have the same schools, which is Moss Park Elementary, Innovation Middle School, and Lake Nona High School. Moss Park Elementary, and you can go on niche.com and find out about schools, because I certainly want to steer you anyway, is a B. Innovation Middle School does not get big reviews. I think it's a C. And then Lake Nona High School is an A or an A-. So that is the school zones for all three of the areas that I'm talking about. So then the last place that I visited, and by the way, of course, the townhomes had a pool area and all of that kind of stuff. So it's your typical normal townhome, like subdivision, if that's what you would call a townhome area. And then the last place that I went down was, I went down to the Enclave at Moss Park, and I drove down the road. It took me a little while to find it, and I know that I read online that there's this company called WYCLIFF, which I have to be honest with you, I wrote that down to kind of investigate and research and find out what WYCLIFF is all about. But I know that a lot of people that live in that general vicinity are employed by WYCLIFF. And I have to tell you honestly, I'm not sure what WYCLIFF is. And if you know what WYCLIFF is, do me a favor and put it in the comments so that I will know, and so will everyone else. And by the way, if you're getting any value out of this video, do me a favor and hit that like button, and also comment below and let me know what area you want to see. If it's Lake Nona, Kissimmee, Winter Garden, whatever. Orlando is a big metropolitan area and there is a lot of different places to choose from. So anyway, the last place that I went to, again, Enclave at Moss Park, was really another really nice subdivision. It is a little newer. It was quiet. I know that their HOA is $365 quarterly, which is not bad in the grand scheme of things. Now, these homes are a little closer to each other. As everyone knows, I talk about that quite often. It's just one of my, I guess for me, it's a pet peeve. But some people like it, some people don't. I'm one that doesn't. Anyway, it is called, forgive me, it is Enclave is what we're talking about. There's so many Moss Parks and whatnot. So that ranged from about what I saw on the MLS, $499 to about $753,000. And of course it goes 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom, like that kind of thing. Some of the homes were very large, some of them a standard 3-bedroom, 2-bath, probably 16 to 1,800 square feet. Still, pricing not too terribly bad. So you also have to keep in mind that Disney Imagineer campus is coming. You've got KPMG. You also have UCF Medical School, USTA, United States Tennis Association. There's a lot of things in this general vicinity which draws people to the Lake Nona area. I also wanted to make mention that Beazer Homes is building an area called Moss Lake Preserve. The first place that I was talking about was Moss Park, I want to say Moss Lake, Moss Park Reserve, and then Beazer Homes opened Moss Park Preserve. And those homes are, you know, they're gonna be $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, and they are still building. Those are pretty current homes built last year, and they are not sold out yet. I also wanna make mention, sorry, I know I'm backtracking, the first place that I went into, where the place that I wanna move to, there was still homes under construction, and there are still some, home sites for sale. So if you are thinking of a custom build, that would be a great place, a great place. So I wanted to talk about the parks before I left you today. And I am gonna steal my notes because I don't wanna rely on this. Moss Park has so Moss Park is a general community inside of Lake Nona. Moss Park is a park within Moss Park within Lake Nona. That's crazy. And so Moss Park has a boat ramp, they have camping sites, RV sites, they have canoe, they have kayaking, fishing, they have picnic area, grill sites, sand volleyball. It's a very nice area. And then also there's a place called Crosby Island Preserve, which I drove right by. It's very close to this general area. And this is a hiking national scenic trail, and it made mention about bird watching and wetlands and uplands. And so there are a lot of people that are really into nature and the outdoors in Florida because that's what this area draws. It draws the outdoors. That's, today it is cooler. It's in the 70s and it's December 21st. Come on, cold weather. So today we were talking about some of the little pockets of neighborhoods within the Lake Nona area. But if that isn't really the information that you want and need, it's not really your style, well, you have to let us know. You have to reach out. You have to let us know exactly what it is that you want to see. That's what we're here for. We're here to make your life easier, to make your move and your relocation as seamless and painless as possible. So if you're thinking about moving to Orlando or Central Florida in general, then shoot us a text, give us a call, send us an email, however you wish to connect, because we got you covered when it comes to moving to Orlando and Central Florida. And check out my other channel. It is Vacation Homes in Orlando and Central Florida. If you're also thinking about an investment or a second home or a vacation property. See you on the next video. Bye for now.